How do dates work in Excel? Today I'm going to let you in on a little secret and demystify one of Excel's great mysteries. Has this happened to you before? You go to any cell, enter a number, and it shows up as a date. And you're scratching your head wondering, why is it a date? Why is it showed as a date? I entered a number, it should be showing the number 5. Just like if I put 5 in this cell, it shows it as 5. But what if I go and put in a date in this cell, any date, shows it as a date, delete it, now I go back and put the 5 in, now it's showing it as a date. What is the logic behind that? How does that work? In the next segment I'm going to explain that to you. So the big secret with Excel when it looks at dates is that it shows it to you as a date, but it's actually storing it as a number. And the numbers are based on a system called the 1900 date system. Starting number 1 is the 1st of January 1900, and it just works through progressively from there. So if you put a date in, it'll go through and find the relevant number and store the number starting from the 1st of January 1900. Now just to clarify that visually, I've got 2 columns of numbers here, exactly the same, formatted in a general format, so it shows it as numbers. But if I go ahead and select the F column and change the way it looks, so I'm changing the format, I'm not changing the value at all, show it to me as a short date format. See how number 1 is showing to us as the 1st of January 1900, and it just works its way progressively through that list. So you see the date, it's storing it as a number starting from the 1st of January 1900. These numbers over here are obviously a lot higher. They're more now. These are dates in 2020. So let me just change the K format to a short date. So 25th of February is today. So it's 43,886 days since the 1st of January 1900. So Excel will store that date as that number there, but it will show it to us as that date format. Okay, so just keep in mind in the background there's a big long list of numbers and dates. So you enter a date, it will look that date up, find the corresponding number, and it will store that number. But it will show it to you as a date in whatever format you choose to see it. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little bit more sense to you. And in the next step I'll show you why they store it as numbers and how it helps you when you do calculations. So now you know the secret how Excel works with dates. It stores it as numbers. Now I'm going to give you a little demonstration of why it does that and how it makes it so much easier. So I'm going to also give you a couple of great little tips in this little segment here. First of all, if you ever want a date to update to the current date every time you open a spreadsheet, there's a function in Excel called today. Simple as that, it's called today. So in this cell here, I'm going to enter that function. So we always start a function with a equal sign. The name of the function is today, and then we put it in the left bracket. The full function is just like that, 2 brackets, but a little tip, you don't need to put the second one on. Excel will add that. So all you need to do is go equal today bracket, enter that, and it will return today's date. The beauty about this is tomorrow, when you open this spreadsheet, that will increase by a day, and it will show tomorrow's date. And it's all based on your computer date setting. So if that's correct, this spreadsheet will reflect the correct date. Any day that you open it will show that date. Okay, so let's just enter that. 25th of February 2020. Okay, so keep in mind it's storing a number in the background based on that list starting 1/1/1900. It's showing it to us as a date because that's what we chose to look at it. Okay, now let's put in this cell here, let's put in Christmas. Another little tip, if it's this current year, don't put the year on it. If you're doing a lot of date entries, it's going to save you a fair bit of time. Excel automatically adds the current year. The only time you put a year on is if it's not this year. Okay, so let's just go 25/12, enter that. So it's added 2020. Okay, so if I actually asked you and said from today until Christmas, looking at those dates, how many days is left? pretty difficult to work out, isn't it? You'd have to refer to a calendar, count up the days. It's going to take you quite a bit of time. So let's just change the format on these two and show them to us as a number. Okay, so keep in mind that list. So today's date is 43,886. Christmas is 44,190. Now if I said to you, can you tell the difference between those two numbers? I'll bet you'd be able to do it really quickly. Either in your head or grab a calculator and you'd be able to tell me the answer in no time. So that's primarily why Excel stores it as numbers. Any calculations with dates, it's very simple with numbers as opposed to using dates. So it's storing those numbers, showing it to us as a date. Okay, so over in this cell, let's just go equals the higher number being Christmas minus today's date. Simple subtraction. So it's 304 days. Now we can go back into select these and change them back to show a date. It's not changing the value, so that formula will still function perfectly well. So it's now showing the dates, so that's what your spreadsheet should look like. Okay, you got today's date, Christmas date, days until Christmas, 304. We open this spreadsheet tomorrow, today's date will change to the 26th of Feb. The days until Christmas will reduce by 1, so it'll be 303. So it's dynamic. Every time you open the spreadsheet, it'll count down. Hopefully that doesn't scare you too much. There's only 304 days. The year's slipping by very quick. Okay, let's say, for example, you were going on a holiday or you had an event planned. You want to count down until that event. So let's just put in a random date, 20th of June. Once again, don't put the year if it's this year. Okay, so you can see there it's displaying the date because it's formatted, but in the background, I'll show that to you quickly. It's 44,002 is the actual number it's storing. Okay, once again, we'll just do that simple calculation, which is that cell there minus that cell. So you've got 116 days. And again, that will update tomorrow. It'll reduce by 1. Going the opposite way, you might have a list of employees and you want to keep track of how many years they've been employed in your business. So for an individual, you could put in, they started on the 20th of November of 2011. Note I'm putting the year on because it's not this year. Enter that. Okay, let's have a look at the numbers just so it's clear in your head. So I'll change these back to a general. Okay, so this one's obviously a lower number this time because it's a number of years previous. So we want to know the difference between this and this. Okay, so there's actually a really neat little function for doing this. So let's just change that back. Change this one back to show it to us as a date. With over 450 functions in Excel, there's almost always a function for whatever you are trying to calculate. It's just a matter of knowing what they are. And as soon as you go equals and start typing a letter, it'll bring up a list. So you can see there's 5 functions there that all start with Y. As soon as I start typing more letters, it'll cut that list down. So there's 2 that have YE at the start. I'm actually after year fraction, which returns the year fraction representing the number of holidays between a start date and an end date. Okay, so from there I can push tab, it'll put in the whole name of the function and the first bracket. Now it's waiting for me to give it a start date. So the start date is that cell there. Now it wants a comma, and that one, I don't need a closing bracket, it'll add that, enter that. So your employee has been employed for 8.3 years. Once again, that's going to update tomorrow. It'll go the 26th of Feb, so the years employed will start expanding accordingly. Okay, so great little function for you to have in your spreadsheet if you're trying to track how long something has happened, an employee, or anything like that. Okay, so hopefully that just clarifies a little bit how the system works. Just keep in mind the first of last century is the starting point. Okay, it uses it primarily so it can do calculations easily with it. And if you ever get stuck when it's not showing the way it should, just keep in mind you've got to change the way it looks by changing the format. The number will be correct. You've just got to change it to show it as a date, show it as a number, whatever you're actually after in that case. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this little lesson and it just demystified one of Excel's great mysteries for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. These videos are designed to highlight some of the many features within Microsoft Excel. They will add professionalism to your business, they will make your job easier, and ultimately they will save you money. X Solutions is based in Manila, providing on-site and public Microsoft Excel training sessions in Northeast Victoria and beyond. Check out our webpage, look us up on Google, we're on all the socials, Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn. My name is Steve Young, I'm a Microsoft Certified Specialist Expert. Give me a call today, you may just become a proficient, efficient spreadsheet wizard. Thanks for watching.